Okay, so I've had quite a few people asking me about my influences when it comes to guitar playing and some of my biggest inspirations. And I don't think I've actually made a video to give you guys some insight on that before, so I figured why not. Okay, so when I first started out, I was really into Southern rock and blues. I started out listening to a lot of Leonard Skinner, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and as far as Southern rock. Now when it comes to blues, I was always more of a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of guy. I love my Hendrix, don't get me wrong, but I always gravitated more towards Stevie Ray Vaughan, just the way he'd play with, such intensity and how he'd articulate his notes and just force them out of his guitar. And I don't know, after that I got into, like AC/DC and such, a lot of your big 80s bands and guitar players. I love my Quiet Riot, Def Leppard, a lot of Iron Maiden, they're to blame for my love of harmony. And I got into Ozzy, and of course, I love all of his guitar players he's had through the years. And it was around then when I really started getting into Randy Rhoads. And eventually I got into, a little bit more intense stuff and a lot more shred-oriented guitar players such as Jason Becker. And then eventually I got into Yngwie Malmsteen, and that definitely opened up a load more doorways as far as guitar playing, and really had a big influence on my playing because I got into him. I started playing Stratocasters, and I went through a really bad Yngwie phase. And I don't know, around then I started getting into, a little bit more heavier, more modern music, like, as far as metal, Killswitch Engage, Across the Sun, Trivium, All That Remains, a lot more heavier rhythm playing, and leads as well. But eventually got into Gus G, and his band Firewind, and to this day Gus is still my idol, if you will, and my favorite guitar player. And he's actually the one to blame for my love of the star-bodied guitars. He was with ESP at the time, and now he plays Jackson, but it was because of him I got my first Charvel Star, my black one, and to this day I just love everything about this shape, and it's all thanks to Gus G. But like I say, I ended up getting into, people and players like him, Andy James, and there's just so many great guitar players out there this day. And I don't know, started out, in blues and such like that, and here we are today. I don't know how I got here, but I guess I could just say I've had a lot of different influences over the years, from different types of genres and playing backgrounds and such. But as far as my rhythm work, I'd have to say more bands, like I say, like Killswitch Engage and such like that, where I play more with a percussive kind of aspect. But as far as my leads and all, I'd have to say Gus G and Andy James and players like that. Now, if I had to choose, I don't know, 5 of my favorite guitar players that really had a big influence and impact on my playing, I'd have to say Gus G, Andy James, Jason Becker, of course Yngwie Malmsteen, and I guess Zakk Wylde. Especially when I grab a wah pedal, I blame Zakk for that. But just I have all kinds of different influences, from different genres that I've listened to over the years. But as you can tell, that's some of my biggest inspirations, and they had the biggest influence on my playing. So there you have it. I hope this helped bring some light to some of those questions you guys have had through the years, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.